all humans are broad. We're all multivariate, but we get summarized in pithy ways, and we know that's not true. I like the model of life the ancients had, the Greeks, the Romans. When you're young, you're going to school, then you're going to war, then you're running a business, then you're supposed to serve in the Senate or the government, then you become a philosopher, this arc to life where you try everything. As one of my friends says, specialization is for insects. Everyone should do everything. I don't believe in this model anymore of trying to focus your life down on one thing. You've got one life, just do everything you gotta do. If you find a mountain, start climbing, you spend your life climbing it, you get, say, 2/3 of the way. And then you see the peak is like way up there, but you're 2/3 of the way up. You're still really high up. But now to go the rest of the way, you're gonna have to go back down to the bottom and look for another path. Nobody wants to do that. People don't want to start over. It's very painful to go back down and look for a new path. That may be the best thing to do. The greatest artists and creators have this ability to start over. I would rather read the best 100 books over and over until I absorb them, rather than read all the books. Desire to me is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. We like to view the world as linear. Put in 8 hours of work, get 8 hours of output. It doesn't work that way. What you do, who you do it with, how you do it, way more important than how hard you work, right? Outputs are non-linear based on quality work. The correct criticism of capitalism is when it does not provide equal opportunity. We should strive to provide equal opportunity. But people confuse that with equal outcome. Equal outcome can only be enforced through violence because free people make different choices and have different outcomes. If you don't let them suffer consequences of bad choices or reap the rewards from good choices, then you are forcibly redistributing through violence. There are no working socialist examples that exist without violence. You need someone with a gun and say, okay, you're not allowed to do that. You hand this over to that person. I always liked Nassim Taleb's framing of this, where he said, with my family, I'm a communist. With my close friends, a socialist. At my state level politics, a Democrat. Higher levels, a Republican, and at the federal level, I'm a libertarian, right? So basically, the larger the group of people you have massed together who have different interests, the less trust there is, the more cheating, the better the incentives have to be aligned, the better the system has to work, the more you go towards capitalism. So the ancient struggle used to be the tribal struggle. You had your tribe of friends and family, you had your religion, you had your country, you had your loyalty, you had your nationality. At least you had meaning and support, but now you would struggle against other tribes. Modern life, we're so free, everything's atomized. We stand alone. Your parents don't live nearby. Your friends don't live nearby. You don't have a tribal meaning. You don't believe in religion anymore. You don't believe in country anymore. You got freedom. It's fantastic. But now, when they attack you, you're alone. So how do they attack you? Social media, they've massaged mechanisms to addict you like a Skinner pigeon or a rat. Click, 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 click. Can't put the phone down. Food, they've taken sugar and weaponized it into forms that you can't resist. Drugs, right? They've taken pharmaceuticals and plants and they've synthesized it. You get addicted. Porn, right? If you're a young male, you wander on the internet, it'll sap your libido and you're not going out in real life societies. You've got this stimulating stuff coming at you. Video games, another way to addict people. Large factories of people are working to addict you and you stand alone. So the modern struggle as an individual is learning how to resist these things in the first place, drawing your boundaries, and there's no one to help you. Everyone should explore this on their own. If I said the meaning of life is to please God, well, which God? A Judeo-Christian God. Why that one? Why this thing? It's a why question. You can keep asking why forever. Any answer I give you, you'll just ask why again.
Like
why
a little
again?
kid.
First is infinite regress, circular reasoning, or an axiom. The most popular axiom is God, but it could be anything: math, science, Big Bang, simulation. Saying simulation or Big Bang is just another way of saying God. God's a dirty word. You end up in these dead ends. There is no answer.
The meaning of life.
You make up your own answer. If there was a single answer, we would not be free. We would be trapped, because then we would all have to live to that answer, like robots competing to fulfill that single meaning. But luckily, there is no answer. Do whatever you want. The answers to great questions are paradoxes.
Yeah.
For example, do I matter? That's really the question you asked, right? Well, how do I matter in this infinite universe? On the one hand, you're separate. No two points are the same. Every point is infinitely different. You're completely separated. No one will have your thoughts, emotions, feelings, experience. Your life is a single player game. You're trapped inside your head, aware of things going on, and that's it. On the other hand, you're connected to everything. The answer to that question of do I matter is I am nothing and I am everything. The answers are all paradoxes. It's sort of pointless to pursue them but the act of pursuing them is actually really useful because then it gives you certain intrinsic understanding in your life that brings a level of peace. Confucius had a great saying, every man has two lives. The second starts when he realizes he has just one. Another one is next time you get sick. A happy person wants 10,000 things. A sick person just wants one thing. It's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Have desires. Be careful of your desires. The desire is suffering. Every desire you have is an access where you will suffer. Don't focus on more than one desire at a time. If you just one thing and you focus on that, you'll get it. Everything else, you gotta let go. I said, I'm never gonna be worth more than what I think I'm worth. No one's gonna pay me more than what I think I'm worth. So what am I worth? I picked an hourly rate for myself. And I said, I'm never gonna squander my time for less than this. Originally it was $500 an hour, then I upgraded to $5,000 an hour. Pick an aspirational hourly rate. If I have to return something and it's below my hourly rate, I'll throw it away or give it away. If I have to do some task and I can hire somebody for less than my hourly rate, I'll hire them. I just became extremely jealous of my time, which doesn't mean you can't have fun. Rest, leisure, spending time with your friends and family, that's all great. Don't count that. But if you're doing anything you don't want to do, which is work, it better be for your hourly rate. Otherwise, don't do the work. Remember the cost of meetings. One person's talking, 7 people listening, you're literally just dying an hour at a time. Drop non-urgent meetings or figure out how to be more efficient with them. The extreme example is business travel. Getting on a plane to fly half around the world for one meeting, which never amounts to anything, wasting your life and then flying back. So about 5 years ago, I resolved, I am never going to travel for business. Wow. And I haven't traveled for business since. I only travel if the experience will be so entertaining and joyous because I have friends or it's a place I want to see or whatever, that it will be complete in and of itself because I know that whatever the business meeting it came from is never worth it.